Hello, you. I'm Madeline, and welcome to my channel, The Energetics of Chronic Conditions. And today, let me talk about belonging and why it's part of all the chronic conditions that I've seen with my clients. But first, let me start with a little history and my own journey. So, when I was 17, I moved to Mexico City for a year. I left everything that I knew people, language, way of being, acting, school, friends to live a full immersion there. You know how we need friends and how we need a group and how we need deeply to belong during those teen years? So I got there in a new family, three new little sisters to learn to know, and two new adults acting as parents. And all I wanted was to belong there as fast as possible. So it was a lot to ask, a lot of the adaptation, a lot of learning. It was super rich, but it was super stressful. And I felt I was adapting fast. Part of me was belonging bits by bits in that whole new world. But then I had a huge block, and that was my mother. She was making sure I was remembering where I was from, making sure I wasn't having the time of my life, making sure I remember she was my mother and that the other Mexican one was not. You see, my mother had some issues and she was pulling that card very hard on me. So I felt really ripped apart, torn. I just wanted to belong there, but I also wanted to still belong back home with my friends and mother and family. And that's where I got sick. I catched a bug, a parasite that I fought for years with medication, supplements, diet. So, what does my parasitic invasion have to do with belonging? Everything. Yes, I was in that right circumstances and those right circumstances to catch a bug. In Mexico, where food and water could be contaminated, and where parasitic invasion or parasitic contamination is very frequent. But how come it got so intense for me? How come it got so deep, so chronic? How come it stick there for years, even taking all the right medicine, doing all the right things? So that's where the energetic piece makes its entrance. That's where it gets interesting, and that's where it gets tricky too. And that's why it took me more than 20 years to get rid of those parasites. So let's go back to belonging. What is belonging exactly? So for me, belonging is to feel whole, to accept all parts of ourselves, even parts that society don't seem to like or approve. Belonging is to feel loved from your family, your friends, is to feel part of a group, part of a tribe, part of a plan, to feel part of something bigger than yourself, a calling. And belonging fills you. Not belonging creates empty spots. It tears you out. It separates you from what you deeply are, from parts of yourself, and from the others too. And you may have felt like a black sheep for a long time. I know I have. When you are that black sheep, you still can find belonging inside. And of course, you can find other black sheep or sheep around you. But finding that belonging inside of you, so that's where confidence plays such a huge role in belonging. How to belong and stay centered and connected when everything outside feels different and strange. And many teenagers feel this. And that's why I feel that these years, emotionally super challenging and charged, are so crucial to consider in our health history with dealing with a chronic condition. When society, let it be your tribe, your family, your employer, doesn't want to see doesn't want to love some parts of you. It separates your energy, it divides you. And what is your reaction when something breaks, something gets divided? Well, you want to make it whole again. And that's exactly what happens to you. You open up to anything that could complete you, that can make you feel whole. But let me tell you one thing, opening up that way, with no filter on, no discernment of what is going on out there, can be dangerous. There are many opportunistic energies waiting for you to open up that way, to create space for them to fill. Parasites, energetic parasites. When they enter your field, they stick to it. They feed from it. They resonate with your need and take a hold on your stomach energy, and then move from there to other organs, weakening them and creating that perfect weak spot for any real physical parasite to be hosted and to thrive. So that's what happened to me in Mexico. My confidence was shaky. I was outside of everything I knew. I was trying hard to belong and feel whole, fighting to find my voice and my space with a mother who was creating more and more separation inside of me. So the fertile ground for parasitic invasion was set up perfect. And I ate something. I drank something that with a physical trigger, a real parasite, and it got right where it wanted, creating quite a mess in my digestive tract. And for years, I fought that problem, only looking at it from a physical point of view. And so all of my efforts, all of my time, energy, and money invested in therapies and healing modalities were giving me very short time results because my field was compromised. My arms were still open to opportunistic energies. I still had that unresolved, not belonging piece to deal with. Because that non belonging is really an open doorway. It's an empty vase that you want to fill. So I had to close those doors in order to heal, in order for all the physical modalities to be as potent as they could be. I had to work on belonging to myself, to give a voice in a space of all parts of me. I had to clear those leaks. I had to clear those unhealthy cords and feed my energy from within. This is how and why I feel that belonging is such a huge piece of the chronic part of any condition. That energetic part, those parasitic energies are disturbing the healing pathways, the harmonious communication inside of your energetic and physical body, because you know it starts on that energetic level, the biophysical level. So you go back in time, and maybe it's not a long time ago, but maybe it's when you were a teen, and think about how you were feeling. Any specific period, any event that could have triggered that non-belonging emotion inside of you. Maybe not such a long time before you started to be sick or experience some pattern or any chronic condition. So please share your experience and insight in the comments below. And please know that there is a way out of those chronic conditions. There is an energetic way. Bye.